Greetings guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you are well and I hope that you are fighting, because there is a lot to be fighting for. As usual, there'll be a link in the description to the page on my website with a bunch of petitions, donations, emails to send to MPs, etc, etc. Now, something that we all know is that men. Something that men are notorious for in fiction is writing women in a way that is terrible, terrifying, awful. And so today we're going to be looking over some of the ways that men have written women. Some things that men write about women, the way they depict their female characters. Yeah, it's always a fun time. A lot of you have been asking me to do another one of these for a while, because it's been quite some time, so I thought that we would sit down and we would do that together. But before we get started, a quick thank you to today's video sponsor, Lily Cup by Intimidad, and I will tell you more about them a little bit later. The sensuous cough syrup purr of Scarlett Johansson's voice is something I've missed in lockdown. Now it's back with a throaty vengeance. This is so weird, so gross, so unnecessary. I don't know why men feel the need to say such unnecessary details. Your job is to, write about the TV show. Your job is to, critique the show that she's in, to talk about that. Not to, say what you find attractive about her, to say that you personally have missed this feature that you personally find attractive. It's weird. That's not what she's here to do. That's not what you're here to do. So maybe stick to your job and don't make women the subject of your desire, because that's not what she exists for. That's not what her job is. That's not what your job is. Maybe keep it to yourself. Her breasts were not big enough and they were asymmetrical. Her pubic hair grew like a patch of grass that had been trampled by a passing army. I'm sorry, what? Firstly, why is this a necessary addition to your story? What does this add? What does this add to your character, to your story? What does it add to anything? It is the least important description I have ever heard. Describing someone's pubic hair? For what? Why? And that's the weirdest description of anything I have ever heard. How did you think of that? How long were you, imagining a naked woman's pubic hair to be able to write that description? That's really, really weird. And also just, the asymmetrical breast thing and it being, portrayed as, an insecurity and something that she's insecure about. Why are we, putting what you think women are or should be insecure onto characters? You don't need to write insecurities onto characters, body insecurities like that, because that's not an important detail. That has nothing to do with the character. The way her boobs look have nothing to do with the character, especially when you're doing it only for, the male gaze. What are you doing? How is this important? Just, stop writing unnecessary bullshit into your fucking stories just for the sake of sexualizing women and forcing your ideas of, perfection and beauty onto fictional fucking characters. I had no idea that people would be so up in arms about a bunny not having boobs, said director Malcolm D. Lee. Space Jam 2 director, making Lola Bunny less sexualized, created super weird backlash. Yeah, I know this technically isn't men writing women, but it was on the Reddit, so I took it anyway, because what the fuck? The animator didn't give a cartoon rabbit boobs, and men got angry. It's a cartoon rabbit. Why are you sexualizing a cartoon rabbit? Why is that important to you? Why are you upset that a cartoon rabbit doesn't have boobs? That's the weirdest complaint I've ever heard. Are you okay? If you're complaining about a cartoon rabbit not having boobs, I think that maybe you need therapy. Because, bro, sort it out. This is my new assistant, Zoe. So nice to meet you. With you, assistants are like tampons. There's a new one every month. That's not how tampons work, sir. That's not how tampons work at all. I can't tell if this is implying that they think people insert a tampon and then just leave it there for like 3 to 7 days without ever touching it or checking it, or if they think we use and reuse the same tampon multiple times over the course of one period. But you think we use one tampon a month? Bro, did you not go to school? Have you not talked to someone who menstruates, like, ever? You've not ever had a conversation with someone who gets their period? No? You can't leave your tampon in for multiple days. You can't even leave your tampon in for one full day because that is dangerous. We don't do that. And you also cannot be removing and reinserting the same tampon over and over again. Can you imagine that? That wouldn't work, firstly. And secondly, just so gross to even think about that. That is a terribly disgusting thought in my mind. No. The only menstrual product you should be reusing is menstrual cups, and you don't have to replace those every month. You just have one, and it lasts you years. So that's even a step up from replacing a tampon once every month. And a great example of a menstrual cup is
today's sponsor, Lily Cup 1 by Intimina.
My favorite thing about this cup is that you can fold her down, so she's like this, and she comes with a cute little case, and so you can keep it in like your bag or whatever, and it's really convenient, really good size. It doesn't get dirty or anything, and it's like just really small. You can even put it in like a lot of your pockets, so you can always have it on you and it can always be clean. And I really, really like that. I haven't seen this design before, and I think it's so cute. I love it so much. And then when you need it, you just open it up and then pull her out. Bam! And she's a really good size for beginners. Not too big, but also not too small. Like, it's large enough to work for a heavy flow without any leakages. It's still easy to insert. You just like fold it and insert it up. There's instructions on the website. Very helpful if you've never used one before. And it even has a little loop to help for removal, which again is really helpful. But you can wear for up to 8 hours and not have to worry about any leakages, any spillages. That's the same thing. And it's nice and comfortable. You genuinely just forget that it's there, and then when you're finished with it, you just take it out, give it a bit of a wash, and then you can put it back in the little case to carry around with you, so you're not ever caught off guard. You always have her on hand. I've been using menstrual cups for I think 5 years now, and I love them. I think they're genuinely like more comfortable than like a tampon or a pad, which is really interesting because I did not expect that based on like the size of them. But like, I genuinely find them so much more comfortable, which I was really, really shocked by and really pleasantly surprised by.
If you would like to try Lily Cup 1 for yourself, then you can go to the link in the description.
I definitely recommend it if you are looking for a menstrual cup. It is definitely the best one that I have come across, and I highly, highly recommend, and I hope you check it out. It really helps me out, and it'll be giving you a better period. It's more cost efficient and environmentally friendly, and I highly, highly recommend it. So thank you, Intimina. And let's move on. Instead of pain, each bruise was filled with pleasure. It was as if a clitoris sprang up in the place of every bruise, and when he kissed me, I climaxed again and again. What? Do you know what a clitoris is? Because that's not how they work. Firstly, if you just like kiss a clit, you're not gonna make anyone come by just... That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. And secondly, that would never, ever, ever happen to anyone ever. A bruise being like, no. Stop pretending that you've had sex with someone with a vulva. You've never touched a vulva ever. You've never seen a person naked ever. Don't pretend like you have. You clearly don't know how anatomy works at all. The virgins of heaven will be 130 feet tall, with saliva as sweet as honey. They will not urinate or defecate. I didn't realize angels urinated or defecated. That seems pretty shitty. No pun intended. Like, why would... That seems so stupid. Why would you need to, like, use the toilet in heaven? That feels ridiculous. That feels like a ripoff. I hate that rule. And secondly, why the fuck would I want to be 130 feet tall? That sounds awful. I don't want to be 130 feet tall. No, thank you. No thank you. I would rather have as much sex as I like and not be 130 feet tall. I would rather be a virgin and not 130 feet tall. I do not want to be 130 feet tall. And I don't care if my saliva tastes like honey. So, try again. Why don't guys ever get it? It's never just one thing with women. It's a long day at work, dirty looks from my boss, seeing women thinner than me in the train, arguing with my mother, coming home to a disinterested boyfriend, and then eating greasy food for dinner that would make me even fatter than the skinny girls on the train. Oh, and add boyfriend never having the guts to discuss our future. Is this what men think our worries are? Like, all we care about is how men perceive us? They think, like, they just genuinely think the world revolves around them and everyone caters for them. We don't exist for you. I've said it in literally every video I've ever made, and I will have to keep saying it. We don't exist to fit to whatever aesthetic you want us to fit to. We don't exist to mold to society's beauty standard. Believe it or not, that isn't always on our minds. It is a really big issue, obviously, but portraying that as though that's our fault, firstly, fuck you, and weighing this down to sort of like pinning that down to women's issues are so small comparatively to men. This is all women ever worry about. If your entire mind and worries are made up of wanting to be the thinnest person, that is some eating disorder mindset. I don't know how you are eating or what you are eating, but if that's your mindset, that's a really dangerous mindset to be in, and that is mental illness. You are mentally ill if that is all you are thinking about all the time, and that is your number one concern, and it's impacting your life, then you need to go to therapy. That's not something that you can just play off in like oh, women's struggles are so small. No, that's like an actual really big, like life-threatening problem. That's not a small issue. That's not a small issue. It's also not the only thing that even people who are mentally ill and disordered in said ways will be thinking about. There are so many other concerns that obviously we all have because we're all people and we don't exist for aesthetics. That's not all that we think about. There is so much more going on in our lives other than comparing ourselves to one another. That is a big problem, but that's not our fault. That's your fault for telling us that we have to conform and that we have to compare ourselves to other women and have competition with other women because we are told that we are subjects of desire, which is terrible and that needs to change. But making that a small issue and like belittling us for it. Sorry, I could talk about this for a really long time. As someone who has struggled with an eating disorder for many, many years and had to go through therapy for a long time, this fucking pisses me off so much. There are so many more issues, and this isn't a small one. Rosemary observes that her breasts are still perky, a perfect 38C. Her belly is still flat, no stretch marks or scars. Her 5'5" frame isn't slender, but it isn't fat either. She has muscular thighs and a firm ass. Her pubic hair is brunette, just like the waist-length hair on her head. She likes not having to shave down there anymore. Perfect body, but then why wouldn't it be? I always aborted when I got pregnant, didn't I? 8 times. Yes, sir. My uterus is so scarred now, it's doubtful I'll ever have any children. Which is probably a good thing. Kids deserve better than me. Why are men so obsessed with describing women naked? Why do we have to do it? How is this important to the story? How is this important to her character? How is the color of her pubic hair important to the storyline in any way, shape, or form? Would you ever write a man like that? Would you ever describe a male character like that? Because I guarantee you the answer is no. I guarantee you when you write a male character, you talk about his characteristics. You talk about what he does, who he is. You talk about his intellect, his intelligence. You don't boil him down to the way that he looks, and especially not the color of his pubic hair. That's not a thing that you're going to do. But you will sit here and you will do it with women because for some reason you decide that that's important to the story because all women are is accessories, right? We exist to be sexualized and to be objects of desire, and you want to write that into the story so everybody knows that. We all know exactly what the women look like. We all know that that's their main characteristic, is what they look like and how they appeal to men and the male character. And you want even the fucking audience to sexualize fictional fucking women. Stop boiling women down to nothing but aesthetics and the way we look and how men perceive us, because it's really fucked up. And it is this awful, terrible cycle that has been going on for forever, and unfortunately will continue to go on for much, much longer. Anyway, this has been fun. I've had a great time. I love reading the way men perceive women. It's really always a good time. I hope that you've also had a good time. Let me know what you would like to see from me next time. I'm currently actually on holiday. I am not in London. I am on a break at the moment. It was Stray Kids Comeback a few days ago. I don't know when this is posted. I think a few days ago for you now. So we've gone away to like sit and absorb and enjoy. That was unnecessary detail. I just wanted to tell you because I'm excited. A massive thank you to my Kiwi Fruit and Kiwi Bird channel members whose names are up on the screen right now. And a huge thank you to my channel member of the day, Ellie. I love and appreciate you so, so much. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like to become a channel member, you can click the top link in the description or the lovely join button. You get my videos a day early, as well as 10% off my shop when I have things on my shop. And as a Kiwi Bird member, you get some extra little videos that don't make it into the main video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.